If you put someone in leadership before they're ready, that position can literally destroy them. And I think one of the clearest places that we can look to in the Bible when it comes to leadership is 1 Timothy chapter 3. Paul says, this is a faithful saying that if a man desires the position of a bishop, he desires a good work. But then he starts to list out the qualifications, right? And this is where we have to slow down, because leadership in the kingdom is not just about having a title. It's not just about being gifted. It's not just about being talented. The Bible says that a bishop must be blameless. He must be the husband of one wife. So for those who want to be in leadership but still have that side chick, or still want to live that 007 life, this position is not for you. You need to get your house in order first. The Bible says he also must be temperate. He must be sober-minded. And I know people love to say, well, what's wrong with one drink? What's wrong with one beer, one glass of wine? But the reality of it is, and science proves it, that one drink can affect your judgment. So if you're called to lead people, you can't afford to have your judgment being clouded. So if you think you can be given alcohol and still walk clearly in leadership, you need to go back to what the Bible is actually telling you. It says you must be of good behavior. That means you can't act one way in church and act a completely different way outside of it. You can't worship on Sunday and then act like a fool the rest of the week. That's not going to fly. It says you must be hospitable. That means you have to be willing to be generous with your time, your energy, your resources, and whatever God's blessed you with. And I'll be honest, that's something that God had to work on in me, because there was a time when I didn't want to be hospitable. I didn't want to invite people over to my home. I didn't want to give my time. I didn't want to be generous. But if you want to lead in the kingdom, that kind of heart posture has to change. The Bible also says that a leader must be able to teach, and that's important, because if you're a leader and you can't teach or guide or correct or pour into anyone, then why are you even in leadership to begin with? Leadership is not just standing in front of people. Leadership is carrying responsibility for people. Then it says given to wine. That goes back to being sober-minded, and I'm not going to go back to that. It says don't be violent, and I'll be real, that's something that God had to really deal with inside of me too, because my natural response before is, well, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back harder. But the Bible says that a leader can't be violent. A leader has to be controlled. A leader has to be submitted to the Spirit of God. It says not be greedy for money. So if we're constantly chasing the dollar, constantly worrying about money, or constantly consumed with where the next check is coming or how I'm going to pay rent next month, that can't rule us. You can't serve both God and mammon. Money can be a tool, but it can't be your master.